Yoid, what's up, people? Anyway, there's some certain people in this world that kind of bug me. This video is going to be more of a rant. A little different than most of my videos, because most of them are, like, just me being stupid, like... Anyway, since I'm talking something that ticks me off, I better put on my angry face. As I was saying, I'm going to tell you about these certain people. I don't know how I would classify these people. I might classify them as rude people who are rude because they think you're rude, or something like that. I'll say what I mean in these few examples that happened in the last couple years, and one example from my childhood. Anyway, my first example happens last year when I'm going to my class, I believe. Anyway, I'm walking through the halls of one of the buildings at my university, and one of the doors didn't have a window in it. So when I opened the door, there was a guy standing on the other side. Now, I don't know, the guy was a professor. He was like about in his 50s, I'd say. Anyway, the door, like, I don't know what happened. I think the door startled him or something. So, you know, when you're open through a door and you kind of almost nudge someone, or you do nudge someone, you just say, "Oh, I'm sorry," keep on walking, and then you keep on walking. Now, I opened the door, and he was on the other side. I didn't even touch him with the door. I didn't even nudge into him. I just kind of almost nudged into him. So it was just, naturally, I was just walking by and I said, "Oh, sorry," because I got into his way for a second. And this is what he says to me. This is what he says before walking through the door. He said, "You should be sorry." And he was completely serious. This was not a joke. So, by the time this was able to collect in my head, I turned around and he was already through the door. And like, why? Like, what would he say if I actually did nudge into him, or... I don't like... Anyway, I come back to my room, and I tell the story to my roommate. The first thing he says, "I would have punched that guy right in the face." And I was like, yeah, but, you know, that probably wouldn't have been a great idea in the long run. The second time it happened was I was at a concert in PEI this summer. It happened when I saw the Aerosmith concert, which happened in Prince Edward Island. Anyway, it was during one of the opening bands. It was a stand-up concert, and it was raining all day pretty much, and I think it was a bit clearer at that point. But anyway, it was outside, so the ground was all muddy. And I don't think this has anything to do with the story, but anyway. I'm walking through the crowd, and I spot my friend, so I was like, okay, cool. I start walking over to him, and people are sitting down on a tarp in the middle of a crowd, like this big crowd, everyone's standing up. They decided to put this tarp right down in the crowd, and a couple people are sitting down on it. Now, I see my friend, so I'm just walking over, and I just kind of step over the tarp, not really thinking of it. Some big douchebag comes up to me and starts pushing me back. He says, "Hey, people are sitting here. People are sitting here." And I was already almost over the tarp. I would have made over it just fine. But the guy pushed me back, and like, I stepped right on the tarp, got it all muddy. And if I didn't see my friend over there, like, but I wasn't even thinking of that. I said, okay, and then I walked around it and I saw my friend and was like, hey. And then it kind of sunk in. I'm like, hey, that guy was a jerk. But I wasn't really paying attention because I was kind of excited to see my friend. But, like, who does that? It's in the middle of a concert. People are going to step on it anyway. And he gets mad because I'm walking over it. Why are you sitting down in the middle of a concert on a tarp? And not expecting people not only, like, let alone step on it, but walk over it. It's like a little thin, it wasn't even like taking up a lot of space. I was just walking over it, like a little foot, and the guy just, I don't know. Anyway, when I got to my friend, I was just like, wait a minute, and I told him pretty much the story. I guess he didn't notice it happened. And this is what I said. This is a different friend of mine, mind you. This is what he says. He says, really? I would have punched that guy in the face. Exact same reaction. Like, these are the kind of the guys that tick me off the most. It's people who get mad at you and think you're rude, or think you're, like, rude, or think you're mean or nasty, or, you know, something like that. And when you've done nothing wrong, and they express their anger back in, like, pretty much worse manner. Like, the first guy obviously thought it was rude or something, and he was even worse. The second guy thought I was inconsiderate for walking over the thing, when the guy, like, put the tarp in the middle of a crowd. I think that's more inconsiderate, and then he started pushing me. Like, good thing I'm a pretty tame guy, because I think most people just would have knocked his teeth out. The last situation, I was probably like 12 or 13. I was a pretty sensitive kid. Like, a lot of little stuff, if someone got a little bit angry at me, like, it would hit me hard, pretty much. And I'm still kind of like that, but as a kid, I was a pretty sensitive kid. What I mean is, some lady, okay, I was going to the aquatic center because I was having swimming lessons, and I opened the door and, like, let it close. But I didn't notice there was a lady behind me, and she said, hey, what did you do that for? Why didn't you hold the door open for me? You let it slam in my face on purpose. And I was like, oh, I'm really sorry, I didn't see you there. And she said, yeah, right, I don't believe you. And I don't know, as a kid, like, I wasn't real young, but I don't know, it made me feel real upset. But, like, I mean, what a jerk. What a jerk lady. Yelling at some little kid for not holding the door on purpose. Like, I even explained to her that I didn't do it on purpose. Or said, if I said, oh, it was a mistake, and she said, oh, okay, then that would be fine. And I wouldn't have even felt bad. I would have been okay. But, I mean, like, she didn't believe that I didn't do it on purpose. Anyway, that's the end of my rant thing. I don't know. I didn't really see anyone rant about something like this before, and something that bugged me in the past. My pet peeve is annoying people. And if you like my video, then comment and rate it. And if you don't like it, then I guess you could still rate it, but I'd rather you liked it. And yeah, I'm going to be making more videos in the future, so make sure to subscribe if you liked this video or any other videos that I've done.